Hello, my name is JC, and today I'm going to give you 10 tips to study Spanish. Tip number 1, set a goal. Setting a goal is important so that you can keep motivation and have a focus on what you need to do. It also helps you break it down into smaller parts so it feels less overwhelming. A good goal is a trip. There are 20 countries that speak Spanish, and many of them are wonderful to travel in. You can also study abroad. Even if you're not a student, you can study abroad with GoGo España. GoGo España has many schools across the country of Spain that you can go to for as little as 1 week to over a year. If you'd like to certify your Spanish for work or school, you can take the DELE exam. It has 4 sections. It tests your speaking, reading, writing, and listening skills. Tip number 2, time blocking. Actually go into your calendar and block off time to study Spanish. For my students, I usually recommend 30 minutes per day or 4 hours per week. It takes around 600 hours to become proficient in Spanish, so the amount of time you want to dedicate to your studying and how long you want to take to become proficient in Spanish or to reach your goal depends on you. Tip number 3, set up your study space. Find a dedicated space that you can use just to study Spanish and get all of your materials ready. Notebooks, pencils, erasers. I also recommend to have a small whiteboard with dry erase markers. You can also get a whiteboard that's magnetic that can go on your fridge so you can put word of the day or word of the week. I also like physical flashcards. My favorite are the campus ringed word cards. And if you want to get a tutor and take online lessons, I'd also recommend you get a Logitech webcam and some headphones. Now here is where you want to get some Spanish books. For beginners, Madrigal's Magic Key to Spanish and Easy Spanish Step by Step are good options. If you'd like something oversimplified, my workbook, A 1 Year in Easy Spanish, has a bunch of easy activities like word matching, fill in the blanks, and crossword puzzles and word searches with 500 of the most high-frequency words, so you can take a look at that. If you're looking at verb conjugations, then I would recommend the books by Ollie Richards. I have all of them and find them very useful. He has books with short stories, conversations, and grammar explanations. If you're at this level, then I'd also recommend my second workbook, 1 Year in Beginner Spanish. It's similar to the first one, except that this time it has 1,500 high-frequency words. Tip number 4, choose your digital study tools. There are so many great apps, websites, and YouTube channels out there, so I recommend you give all of them a try and see which ones work for you, then stick to those. First, you need a translator. Google Translate and DeepL are good translating apps that will be essential to help you with your vocabulary. Hi Native is another great app that you can use to get accurate translations from native speakers. Reword, Algo app, and Anki are all spaced repetition flashcard systems. The way they work is they will show you a word more or less frequently depending on how well you know it. It'll prevent you from forgetting old words while learning new words. Basically, you study less but you learn more. What matters is consistency, doing it every day. For my students, I recommend doing it 15 minutes per day if you're a beginner. For lessons, I recommend Spanish Pod 101 and Dreaming Spanish. For listening, I recommend the Easy Spanish YouTube channel, but Spanish Pod 101 and Dreaming Spanish also have YouTube channels. For writing, I recommend Outright. It's a spelling and grammar corrector, and I also recommend using a verb conjugator. I use Word Reference. For conversation, I recommend you use Global Pen Friends and Hello Talk. On these two, you can make friends with native speakers to practice your writing and speaking skills. You can also use meetup.com if you want to find a Spanish learning group. Tip number 5, get a tutor. A tutor will help you not make any bad habits. They will correct your pronunciation, your vocabulary. They will also help keep you accountable for your studying, which is really great. And they will help you with any questions or doubts you may have. Preply and italki are great places to find tutors. You can choose a tutor based on their availability and price range. If you'd rather learn with a tutor instead of with a textbook, then I'd recommend you choose a tutor and do at least 1 hour of lessons per week. So one 1-hour lesson or two 30-minute lessons. Tip number 6, learn how to read. I recommend doing this before you learn vocabulary because otherwise you'll be learning the words wrong. So you can start with some videos, the websites I mentioned earlier, or with your tutor. In my experience, it doesn't take more than 1 to 3 lessons for an English speaker to be able to read Spanish. Tip number 7, learn high-frequency words. First, if you're a beginner, try labeling everything in your house in Spanish. After that, online you can find a list of the most high-frequent 500 words or 1,000 words and add those to your flashcards. This will help you learn the basic vocabulary a lot faster. Tip number 8, immerse yourself. Now, unless you have Spanish-speaking friends, family, or you live in a Spanish-speaking country, this is going to be a little more difficult and you're going to want to fake Spanish immersion. What you can do is have a lot of audio ready on your phone, so that can be the news, YouTube channels, podcasts, audiobooks, music, whatever you would like, and play it in the background whenever you have free time. So while you're in the shower, washing dishes, exercising, getting ready in the morning, commuting to work, play it in the background. It's fine if you don't understand what you're listening to yet. What matters is that you're training your ear to get used to the sounds, and slowly you'll be able to understand it a little bit more. Tip number 9, choose a hobby and try to connect Spanish to it. This is going to look different depending on the person and their hobby, but I will give you some examples. If you like watching makeup tutorials, then try to find a YouTuber that does this in Spanish. If you like playing video games, try setting your video game to Spanish and the region to a Spanish-speaking country so that you can play with Spanish-speaking gamers. If you like watching movies and series, try re-watching something in Spanish. This way you won't be too confused with what they are saying because you'll already understand the context and the story. Tip number 10, write every day. Now, Spanish grammar is not so difficult. However, it is quite different from English that it will definitely feel like you're rewiring your brain to think a different way. So writing is going to help with repetition to really get you used to thinking in this way. And you want to try writing about a variety of topics. As a beginner, trying a diary is good. But once it starts getting repetitive, then you want to start writing summaries of books or movies. You can also write a review of a place you went to or of a memory. Tip number 11, talk to yourself. This is very important to start thinking in Spanish. Try to think or say phrases that you'd actually say in English. For example, where did I leave my keys? Or at what time was the party again? You can also try narrating your life. For example, kind of like, I'm waking up in the morning, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm taking a shower, I'm making an egg, this is a mug, that is a rock. Just try to say simple sentences like that, and every day you'll encounter a lot of new words you don't know as a beginner, and a lot of grammar you also don't know. So this is going to help you to constantly see what you need to work on and where your gaps are. I hope you found the 11 tips that I gave you helpful. I hope your Spanish learning journey goes well, and thank you for watching this video until the end. Adios!